Setting a pretty tough standard up here, Ken, to follow. So I feel sorry for the people on down the line. It's going to get tougher and tougher. First of all, thank you to Pat Darcy and the Pima County Sports Hall of Fame Committee. This is quite an event, and it's quite an honor. And trust me, to be standing up here with the people that are getting inducted in this class, these are people that I grew up following. I wanted to be like. And so to be included in their class is something that I definitely feel honored to be in. Can't forget about one person up here who hasn't got much mention, and that's John Gleason. He's sitting right over here. He was at Flowing Wells High School for a number of years. Yes, please. I was around his presence a lot, unfortunately, and he never got to coach me. He would retire from the coaching side, but every day I saw him on campus, and after my U of A career was over, he was like, I swear, every year he'd call me, hey, have you been nominated for this? Have you got in the Pima County Sports Hall of Fame? Who's nominating you? And every year he was on me, he's on me, he's on me. And finally, Gerry Stitz took that lead this year, and Coach Gleason, here we are, we got it done. Thank you very much. Congrats to all the other inductees. I don't know all of you. I don't want to try to name some and leave some out, but congratulations. You all have been phenomenal of what you've done in different sports from all areas of athletics, and you all deserve to be up here as well. This is an incredible class with some amazing people, like I just said. Fortunate to be around some of them at school. Coach Tomey was on campus with me a lot, and he was a football coach there. Got to know him, played with his son. I grew up following Rodney Pete. As a high school shortstop from Tucson, growing up a young kid, you see this guy, and he's exactly what you want to grow up to be. And so I got to follow him a little bit. Coach Peabody in basketball. I mean, just amazing what you've done with South Point Catholic High School and Greenfields High School, St. Gregory, all these schools. It's just, and there's too many more to name. And so just to be included with these people is an honor. Several people I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank my mom and dad. I wish my dad could be here. He passed away about 3 years ago, but my mom is here, and it's just an honor. All the sacrifices they put themselves through to be able to get you to practice, to take you to the camps, to pay for that stuff, and be able to get you the training to see you get to this point and achieve your goals. Can never say enough. And Mom, I appreciate it. I love you. Thank you. I have one of my first Little League coaches is able to be here today. I've played for him when I was 10, 11, and 12. He's sitting back with us, Rick. And your son, thanks for coming. I appreciate all you did for me. You guys kind of set the standard of, you know what, you can be good, but we're not going to tolerate it done your way. You're going to do it the way it needs to be done for the team. And that started back then, and I appreciate that. I have some middle school teachers and administrators here that I grew up as my teachers, and then they were my administrators when I was teaching at Flowing Wells School District. Curran and Mark Blair, appreciate you guys for coming. I have probably, I'd go out on a limb and say one of the best high school baseball coaches ever around. Lynn Anderson, he's sitting right here in front of me, and this guy, he took me, yeah, please clap for him. He took me as a long-haired, very arrogant, cocky, thought he was good freshman, and he said, you know what, you want to play varsity as a sophomore, you got to learn how to do some things differently. And he sacrificed his summer to go out every day and meet me in the cage and teach me how to hit. And that's saying a lot because I've been going to University of Arizona baseball camp since I was 10. And just to get that individual training on a daily basis from him it's a blessing because I went from him, and then I graduated, who I'll tell you about in a little bit, the best hitting coach ever. And I was blessed with those two guys. So they pretty much set me on the right track for success at a very early age. My football coach is here, Jeff Curran. I believe he's a Hall of Fame member as well. And he saw a long-haired, arrogant, fast white boy that I'm going to design an offense around at Flowing Wells High School with 27 players on their varsity team and 10 guys playing offense and defense. Not like today's society where you have 20 on offense, 20 on defense, 20 play special teams, and you got 20 bench players at a high school. And, it was because of him I became the football player that I was. And more importantly, he developed my athletic abilities to a higher level. And I can't thank him enough, and I wish I could have played for him more, but I was fortunate enough to get that 1 year with him. So, Coach Curran, thank you. And to play for the guys that I played for at the University of Arizona, I know the University of Arizona athletes here will say that their coaches were the best, but I think we're going to have a long, hard-fought argument about that. Coach Kendall, sitting right up front here, was the most fundamental coach you'll ever meet, and he taught you how to play the game the right way, because he came from the old school where it was you slide hard, you run hard, you play hard, and he instilled that in all of us from day one. And it was about fundamentals. There was no flash. There was no glitz and glare. It was straight fundamentals. And if you didn't like it, then you really didn't play too much until you adjusted to that. And it was sometimes hard to learn, but those lessons are very valuable now. And there's another member here who couldn't be with us here today, Jim Wing, he's probably one of the best human beings you could ever meet. And I was fortunate enough to spend some time with him on Friday. He's doing well. He wishes he could be here. He sends his regards. And then I have a lot of respect for the gentleman sitting right over there, Gerry Stitz. He is probably the best hitting coach that college, high school, professional, anybody could have. A guy, yeah. You talk about having a passion and a desire for hitting. That was what he had. He would take anybody, didn't matter if you were full scholarship, no scholarship, and he'll work with you if you wanted to work. And he would teach you how to become a better hitter. And it wasn't through gadgets and gimmicks. It was about just straight hard work. You want to get in the cage, let's work. And I was fortunate to start being around him when I was 10 years old, and I wouldn't be the coach, player, or anything I turned out to be if it wasn't because of him. So I owe him a lot. And Coach, I'm glad you could be here today. Stitter, you're the man. So all of these things that these people that I've mentioned, they instilled in me the importance of work ethic, what it takes. And that's probably, I think, my strongest trait is my work ethic. And I believe that nothing in life comes easy. You have to work for it. And as you'll see, and after you hear all these other candidates here today, all of us have an outstanding work ethic in what we've done. It's never over. You get up in the morning, you go to work, and you get better. And I think all these people here have that trait, and the people that I mentioned all taught me that at a very, very young age, that that's what it's about. And I'm going to end today with a quote from Coach Wing, who I talked about earlier. Coach Wing told us one day, he said, "You know what, guys?" He goes, "You got to do things today, tomorrow, and the 4th of July." And at first we were like, what in the world does he mean? Today, tomorrow, 4th of July. Well, basically what that means to me is you got to get up, you got to go to work, and you got to get better. It doesn't matter what day it is. If it's today, if it's tomorrow, if it's a holiday, you want to get better. You got to get up, you got to go to work, and you got to perform your best. So I'm going to end on that note today. Thank you very much, Pat. Appreciate it.
Thank you.